This little kid came to school and walked up to his teacher and he says, "Teacher, I saw the damnedest thing happen this morning." And the teacher said, "What?" And the little boy said, "Well, as I was coming to school, a dog ran across the road in front of us, and this car hit him right in the ass." And the teacher said, "No, you mustn't say that. You should say rectum." The little boy said, "Wrecked him hell, it killed him."
Busy work schedule and all. I haven't had time to really call a lot of people, but as we're telling stories about Sam, we're going to give everyone an opportunity who has a funny story to tell to come down and tell it. So I have a few people I'm going to call on, and as we're telling our stories, if you want to say anything, there will be a chance for you to do so. That's right. When I was in probably 8th grade, it was either 7th or 8th, but I think it was probably 8th because I really had a fear in 7th grade of Sam. You know, when he would yell down the hall, "Where are you going? What are you doing out here?" And after this little incident, that fear changed. But during my 8th grade year, we had about 3 boys in our class as 8th graders that were just meaner than snakes. I mean, they were mean. And I think probably Sam at that point and some of the administrators and teachers had tried most everything they could to discipline them. So they decided that rather than just punish those 3 boys, they might apply some peer pressure by making all the 8th grade class stay in their room during lunch hour for a whole week. So at this time too, I like to eat more than anything in the world. I was as round as I was tall. And I was really upset and offended by this tactic on the part of the administration. We had like 10 minutes to eat our lunch, and then we had to go to a study hall room, and I think Sam was in there most of the week, as a matter of fact, so I think he had a lot to do with it. But we had to really be quiet and study that extra 40 minutes or so. And I remember going home every evening and telling my mother, you know, "This really upsets me so much. You know, I don't know why we're doing this. Only 3 people or so were bad. They're punishing the other 50 of us." And I just couldn't understand the whole thing. But I complained to her all week, and just so happened at the end of that week, Mom and I went shopping down at Bloomfield on a Friday night, and we ran into Mr. Crow. Do you remember this story, Mr. Crow? This is a true story. We ran into Mr. Crow, and my mother approached him and said, "You know, boy, Nancy's been upset with you all week," and she was telling him this story, and he didn't have his wife or any of his kids with him or anything, but he was in Cheney's picking out a suit that night, and I think to make up with me in a way, he let me pick his suit, if you could believe that, an 8th grade kid, and like he told me to pick out the suit, and he bought that suit, and I think it's probably the best suit he ever wore in his life. But after that, I really have had this sincere admiration for him ever since. And anytime after that, when he'd yell, "Miss Clint or Miss Boo, where do you think you're going?" You know, I just would kind of ignore him and look at him and smile because I knew he really liked me or he would help me pick out that suit. But I really do have a lot of admiration for Sam, as many other people do. And I'm going to ask Madge Crane now to come forward and share an experience she's had with Mr. Crow.
And I got the speaker. Really, I think the funniest stories that pertained to Sam involved all of you people with the excuses that you brought to him as to why you weren't in school the day before. Lots of fun, wouldn't it say? But the story they've asked me to tell was one concerning a young lady that went to school here. And she came to Sam and asked him to be off school for some kind of country audition or something like that. in came her father, followed by her, in full costume, including her guitar. At that time, Sam was in the little office with no outside door, just an indoor. And before anybody could stop them, in they came. Sam had to sit there and listen to the full audition. But she didn't get excused out of school.
If Mr. Wally Swavey would please come forward, I think he has a speech.
You know, I've known Sam an awful long time. Matter of fact, Sam was teaching when I was in high school. That's where I first met him. But, you know, when I first came to Eastern High School, Sam was a coach, and I think taught social studies. A few years later, assistant principal. A few years later, principal. I came in tonight, he was standing in the hallway in front of a broom. That's got nothing to do with your job, Sam. Okay. When Nancy asked me to relay some incidents, several came to mind. As a matter of fact, I could probably write a book about them. One thing that I really remember about Sam was his ability to change colors. As a biology teacher, of course, I taught a lot about chameleons and other things that change colors, but Sam was quite new to me in that respect. Three incidents came to mind that involved these colors. One morning when I was teaching biology, the door opened and a very white, shaken Sam was standing in the doorway. And it seems as though when the buses had unloaded down here, there was a snake that had crawled up across the front of the doorstep. All the buses had unloaded, all the kids came in, and there was a garter snake about this long. Sam was in the doorway of my biology room down there saying, "Will you come down and get this snake? It's big enough to eat a man alive." The second incident that I remember was, I think, when Mr. Voslo was principal. It seems as though we had a student, and this was during the 60s, in which case, over here at Indiana University, there was a community that was set up with tents. That involved what we then called the hippie culture. And as it turns out, supposedly, we came up missing a student. Culture as to where this student might be located. Now, if anyone has ever been around these tents on the campus, you don't just go yanking open tent doors. Now, I'll leave it up to Sam to tell you, but you know Sam, he went right down through there, boom, pull the door, I'll leave it up to him to tell you what he saw, but coming back home, there was a red Sam sitting in the back seat, and I don't believe it. And I guess probably the third incident, which involves Sam, that I did not know that he had the ability to change to all the colors of the rainbow. Well, one morning we arrived at school and Sam was principal, and you know he ran a tight ship. On this particular day, it seems like maybe some of the students might be a little too tight. Out here in the dugout was a six-pack of beer. Sam found the six-pack, and I can still remember, came into the office, sat on the front of his desk. Boom. I'm going to find out where this came from. Down the hallway he went, changing colors all the way. He came back a little bit later on, and there were 5 bottles sitting on his desk. Just want to clear the mystery up, Sam. I did not take that bottle. Thank you.
Relate to you the meaning between Sam Crow and Halloween. Now, anyone that's been here in school understand in the 60s and 70s would know what joy it would be to try to Halloween Sam and to surprise him. And if anybody's successful that did that, they're probably lying. Because I'm here to tell you that I got it out of Sam this year, how he would always foil us. The many times that we would go down the Sylvania Road, turn right, creep down the highway. This was when he lived close to Ray's junkyard down on 45. Turn off our lights, cruise down, stop about 3/4 of a mile away. Anybody relate to that? All right, we got some here honest. Honest ones are here, Sam. And invariably, we'd go down the road, have our corn or soap or anything we tried, throw it up there, no reaction. Throw it up there and run, usually, because you didn't know where a gun was coming out or Sam would be. You never knew where he would be, right? Okay. You go back then toward your car, somewhat disappointed if he didn't confront you. You know, that was part of the chase, wasn't it, Sam? Whether he would be in shorts or where he would be chasing you, but you wanted part of the chase. Get down to your car and find out, jacked up, spare or the tires off of it. Find that some keys out of it and kept them. Well, I'm here to tell you how he figured that out. A 30-year mystery that he told me. You know, 16, 17-year-olds cannot keep a secret. It's true. Sam Crow had spies. He had gossips. He was, before Watergate, he had spies that he would ask then, come Halloween, around October, he'd ask, what's going on? Any of those pretty young girls you always saw around Sam? Those 15, 16-year-old girls? They'd know everything. They'd tell Sam who was coming that night, he'd know where to be. That's how Sam Crow always had us spoiled when we tried to get him first.
I do have a couple of more stories to be told, but I really was looking for a basketball player that had Sam as a coach. Is there any of those here, anyone present that would like to tell a coaching player story? I've heard that there were some good ones, but I wasn't in the locker room, so I can't verify that. Okay, I'm going to ask Cecilia Cassidy to come forward.
You know, when Nancy called and asked for our class to get together and try to come up with a humorous story about Sam to relate to the alumni here tonight, I thought, okay, well, we can come up with something. So I thought, and when I got to Joni's house, I asked her, I said, Joni, Nancy asked us to come up with a funny story about Sam when we were in school. And I said, was he funny when we were in school? I don't remember that. I think our class is pretty aggravated that apparently all the previous classes robbed you of all your humor by the time you got to class. Because the only thing Joni could really remember was that your neck and your face and your head was really red our whole senior year. But thanks a lot, Sam. And I think the burning question here is on everybody's mind. Were you born with your hair that color?
The last person I'm going to ask to come forward is Mr. Spurgeon again, and this is a story that just happened this year, and Mr. Spurgeon was a little concerned about telling this, but I assured him that he wouldn't lose his job over it. So if you'll come back forward, Mr.
Well, she's kind of put me on the spot here. I had something else prepared because, frankly, I had chickened out. I wasn't going to tell the story that she knows about, but I guess I'll have to. Talk about most embarrassing moments. It seems, well, I guess this really happened last year. Sam came to me, and Sam knows that while I'm from Salem, Indiana, originally, small town, he knows that I wasn't raised on a farm, worked on my granddad's farm quite a bit, but he knows I wasn't raised on a farm, and so he always delights in telling me some of his farm stories. And he told me one particular farm story that I found humorous, and on one side humorous, and I guess on another side of it's quite painful. He told me about a bull of his that, this may be my last year, would you say? Oh, I'm done with this story. About a bull of his that, well, you know, spring of the year, and young man's fancy and all of that. And this bull had decided that it was time for the bull to, you know, do the things bulls do. And of course, Sam's telling me this just about the same way I'm telling it to you. Sam wants to tell me this, but is also kind of embarrassed to do this. And he's saying, well, and this bull, and he's doing it. No fooling. And he says, this bull is meeting with his partner, his mate, and is very intense about the job that he wants to accomplish. And you know, bulls are big animals, lots of strength there, and that bull really is intense. Unfortunately, this bull is poor-sighted also. And in the excitement and the hustle and bustle and the rush, the bull kind of misses the target, as Sam tells me. And in Sam's words, this bull broke his tool. Needless to say, I was aghast. I never knew something like that could happen to him. In my mind, it kind of gave a whole new meaning to the phrase safe sex.
At this point, anyone at all want to come forward and roast Sam? If not, we're going to turn to a more serious moment, and the alumni, all of you may not know that you helped contribute to this plaque for Sam through the money you sent in for tonight's dinner and so forth. And this reads, presented to Leslie, in quotation marks, Sam Crow, May 16, 1992, in appreciation of 30 years of dedicated service to Eastern School District and the endearing friendships with its alumni and staff, 1962 through 1991-92.
All of these smart stories that I've heard in the last few minutes remind me of a little story that I heard some time ago. Apparently there were 7 people making a flight in an airplane, and the plane motor began to conk out, and of course they were all very much concerned about whether they were going to make it or not. So they finally decided, well, we probably better bail out. The plane's probably going to crash. So they got looking around and they found that there was only 6 parachutes on that plane. So one of the passengers was a lawyer, and he thought he was pretty sharp and intelligent. He said, "I've got to get out of here because I've got a lot of important business to do down here with my people and my clients." He says, "I've got to bail out." So he took a parachute and bailed out. Another one on the plane was a doctor, and he's pretty intelligent also. And he said, "Well, I need to go because I've got a lot of people to treat and doctor down here." So he took a parachute and bailed out. The third person on that plane was manager of a big corporation, and he had a lot of intelligence also, and so he felt that he needed to get back down on the ground and help his people, so he took a parachute and bailed out. The fourth person was a cook, and he needed to get out there and cook and help feed people, and so he took a parachute and bailed out. A fifth one was a teacher, and she felt that she needed to go, and so she took a parachute and jumped out and made it all right. The sixth person, of course, the sixth one was a school superintendent. And he thought, well, now I know I've got to have one of those parachutes, but I've got a lot of important business down here to take care of. But he decided, I'll wait a minute. Another person that was on there was a bagger, and he had brought with him, when he got on the plane, he brought a backpack and laid it over here with the parachute. So that left 2 people on that plane. There was still the bagger, he was still there, and the superintendent. And so the bagger said, and the pilot was still on there. Of course, he had his own chute. And he had his own. So anyhow, the pilot and the man with one parachute. The pilot said there's only one parachute left at this time. And the man with the backpack said, well, I tell you, I think we're all right. You know, that smart man over here, superintendent, put my backpack on and jumped out of this plane. So there's two parachutes left. That smart man, that intelligent man, put my backpack on and hopped out of the plane. So the bum and the pilot had their parachute left, and they both strapped them on, flew out pretty easy. I assume that the smart man probably crashed. This lady, you know, this lady worked for me back several years ago, and if you want to hear some hair-raising stories and experiences, we'll talk. No!
Every evening, about midnight, he'd jump on his camel and climb.
Shall we now sing the second verse? Let's get into the great exuberance. Let's live it up. It's not rosy inside tonight. Everyone, let's have a happy time. Are we ready? All together. The second verse. A little her and another third had an aversion to washing their ears. Grandma scrubbed them with the Lysol, and they haven't heard a word in years. Well, let's see what's left of the last verse. Let's have a happy time, everyone. The last verse all together. Thank you kindly, kindly. Mrs. O'Malley, out in the valley, suffered from ulcers. I understand. She swallowed a cake. A grandma's Lysol has the cleanest ulcers in the land.
They ran real fast, didn't it?
Built in, so that's okay. As long as you're getting a green light, you're getting a green light, aren't you?
Yep.
Okay, it's okay.
You're still recording? It's still going.
How you shut it off? I can just see this. How you shut it off?
Push the orange button.
The orange button?
At Lewis Ridge, we still believe the right way to get moist, tender turkeys to slow roast.